Hi YouTube, this is Oliver from 3D Vision. Just another quick little video to show you Poison Ivy's other arm, which is going to be a left arm printing. Just so you can all see, you can get my phone to dial in. Excuse the video because I'm done on my phone. Just shows you if I can get in there. You'll see what the infill looks like as it's being printed. There you go. The print itself has come out really well. The supports on there, I've done it 4%. Support pattern, I believe, is zigzag. Like I say, density was 4% actually on this one. So on the next model, I've actually got it down to 3% because the supports are really firm, but they're alright to break off. But you want supports that aren't going to fail and fall apart. So your print prints well. That's why this print prints so well. If you look at the print, it's printed really well. There's like 0 layer lines and things like that. And obviously it just prints really well. It's printed at a temperature of 218 and a bed temperature of 62, so the print stays on the bed, doesn't fall off the bed. The bed as well, what I do is I do a couple of prints and then I'll clean the bed with a bit of fairy liquid, clean sponge and a bit of warm water, just to keep the bed really clean each time, or every couple of goes I'll give the bed a good clean and dry it off properly. I said the bed, but the PEI plate I mean. Just keep that plate really clean. You can see how well the print's going. It's quite hard to get my phone to dial in, but it is printed really well. You can get an idea of how the supports look. That's what your supports would look like on a clean print. That's printed really well. Yeah, the rest of, she's over there. She sounds pretty big. I've made her to a scale. She's nearly half scale. So she's going to be quite tall when she's finished, when her hair and that's on and her other arms on. So she's quite big, to be fair. But it's a good model, and they've chopped it up really well, and it fits together. Bit of sanding on it here and there. Nothing too serious though. And then obviously once the base is on and there's some bits that go on the bottom of the base, I've modified the base slightly because the base is like a big plant pot. It takes up loads of filament, so I've chopped the base down just to save on filament, because there's no need really, and it doesn't need to be stood on a plant pot. It just takes up too much filament. So I've chopped that down in a piece of software. But once her hair's on, her other arm's on, and then bits of the plants are on the base, and it's all like kind of keyed up and ready for painting and everything. It'll look really good, I think, once it's done. I say it's done quite a big scale. I mean, she stands about probably 4 foot high. So she's really good. She's over a metre, to be fair. So it's about half. It is half scale really, because the files themselves are 1/4 scale, and I've times that up by, so what would be 100%? It's up to 200% now. So that is half scale. So it's half the size she would be as a full-size person. Yeah, what a good model to print. It's got a few bits. I've got a little bit of filling to do on her right leg, because her right leg, they separated the model. It's a nightmare, that part of it. You can't get away from that, I suppose, though, because you just can't, because of the way the model's designed. But what I might do is, when I put the leg together, is bond it together, and then I might create another piece of what I call like ivy stuff, just a piece of I print a bit of ivy myself, so I'll just print like a round string of filament, or around, how can I put it, like a bar of filament, and then I'll cut it and slice it so it's flat on one side, and I'll print the length for that, and I'll wrap it around her leg once the join's done, and then I'll bond it so it looks like another piece of ivy running around her leg. I think that's the way to do it. So that will just fill it and sand it. But that's just where the joint on her right leg is. They didn't really, I suppose there's no way around that really, because there's no bits to cover it, not like on her left leg. There's lots of bits to cover it up. But I think she'll look really good. So we'll see once it's all put together. But happy days, YouTube, and just going to show what kind of scale you can print. But you make a bigger model. This is pretty big, to be fair. And once again, I'll just take you back. This is just a Neptune 4 Plus printer. Pretty good. So happy days, all going well. They print really well, they're dialed in really well. And that's just a matte white filament. So that's all good. And it prints, like I say, I print it at 218 degrees and bed temperature of 62. It prints nice. You've got to love a bit of technology. There is a couple of more big Maxes over there. You don't really need to use them for printing these parts. It's better to use this little printer, this size, because the parts will fit on the build plate, even at that scale. So it just saves energy. So you print them on this Neptune 4 Plus. Like I say, it just gives you an idea of what they can and can't do. But if you want, like I say, make a bigger model, you can see her in the background how big she is. She's pretty big. I think once she's on her base and all the planty bits and that are on there, and she'll look pretty cool. Like I say, I modified the base because the base is just too big. But anyway, if anyone's got any questions or any issues of these printers, I do know a lot about them. You're going to appreciate it. I've got a couple of them there and this one here, so I do know a bit about these printers. I'm not sponsored by Ollie or anything, but I got them cheap, so it's just my hobby. It has been for a few years, to be fair, off and on. But it's just something to do, and it's a nice hobby, You get to see how these machines work, and they work really well once they're dialed in and working good. But a lot of the people I see models being printed on YouTube, you see layer lines in their print. You shouldn't be getting layer lines. Getting layer lines, either the printer's not set up properly, the filament's wrong, or full of water or something, or I don't know really, or the machine's just wrong, and not set up properly. You shouldn't get layer lines in prints. You see what I mean by this print. That's how smooth the print should come out, and that is with a 0.4 nozzle in this Plus. But the machine the bed is set up really, really well. It's really flat, and that's what you want. And obviously the supports, if the supports are good and the model isn't shaking around while it's printing, then the print does come out like that. And I'll show you on this one, on this print here, you can see on our hand, and that has just been broken away from the support. So that's how our hand turned out, and that is really, really good. So you can appreciate that's how good your print should turn out if your print is set up properly and the filament's good and it's all set up right and running right. But anyway, YouTube, I hope everyone has a good day. If anyone's got any questions about printing or problems with their other good printers, the Neptune 4 series, please feel free to ask me, so I do know a lot about them. Anyway, have a good day. If you like this video, click the like box. I like my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good day now. Bye.